I won't never forget the good somebody's done in my life, because I probably still would be, I wouldn't say I would be there still, but I used to dance and stuff, so he took me out of that lifestyle. And I was able to create who Alexis Sky was, and I had, he had his platform. He opened that door for me to be on that platform with him, because nobody knew who I was before that. You know what I mean? So I took it and I capitalized off of who I was, and I kept going and kept going and kept building my brand. So I'll never forget what he did for me.
Now, in case y'all don't know who this is Alexis Sky. She was introduced to the world by rapper Fetty Wap.
1738. I'm laying with Shop. Hello.
That's the man that she's talking about, who platform she pretty much used him to clout herself up. That's pretty much what she's simply saying. But the sad part about it, after he did all that for her, this is how she thanked him.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, because a lot of people don't know. Eric's old business partners, right? Which they were like best friends, and they had this company called PCG, and everybody, went to them for cars and stuff like that. And I know that's your baby father.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. So how is the relationship? We don't even want to say his name for real, because honestly, I always thought he was an asshole, and he always got on my nerves.
You could say. I mean, to be honest, so this is, and part of my journey, I want to, speak my
Living
truth.
your truth.
Yeah. So I want to open up about that too as well. With Brandon, we never really knew each other. I'm gonna just start saying that. So back then, I was with Eddie for about 4 years. So it was one of those things where I couldn't take it no more with my relationship. So I stepped out and decided to date. So I stepped out and decided to date. So Brandon was the first person that kind of gave me that attention, but I was kind of just doing it off of pain. So we messed around one time, y'all. Literally one time, and nobody really knows.
For real?
I don't really know.
Wow.
We really messed. I would have said maybe once or twice. But what I'm saying is we only knew each other for 3 weeks. I didn't know nothing about him.
Yeah.
I didn't really know. I was just there because it was what felt good.
It felt good.
Because I was for 4 years. I never cheated. I was in a house being cheated on. So I was very vulnerable at that time. So yeah.
Okay.
This is the real truth for real.
Okay.
You about to get you're the first person that I'm really saying this to, because I feel like I'm so tired of people saying, "Oh, she lied about her baby daddy" and all these things, and that wasn't the case. So pretty much we met, how y'all create a baby. So we messed around, and it was around my birthday week, and whatever. I asked him to buy me a camera because I wanted to be a vlogger at the time, and he told me no. So I was like, no. So I got up out of there. So I cut him off. I asked him to buy me a camera because I wanted to be a vlogger at the time, and he told me no. So I was like, no. So I got up out of there. So I cut him off. And of course, Eddie came back around, and I went back home. But obviously, we did what we did, and I didn't know
that you
because we used protection. So I'm a little confused, how,
The nerve of this bird, bro. She's gonna be like, yo, I don't know how because we used protection. The same way how she didn't know how many times they had sex. We only had sex one time, or maybe twice. Listen, bro, this is just nasty. And fellas, this is why you don't take a woman back after your break up. If you and a chick go on a break, what that means, she's about to go smash another dude. Once a woman steps out, once a woman leaves you, bro, she's leaving you because she got something else lined up and she want to try it out. And when it don't work out, that's when they come back. So apparently, Fetty Wap thought it was his kid.
Come here. Sit down here.
Hell no.
Sit down there. Sit down here.
Hell no.
When it comes to 1-year-old Isaiah, you are not.
Tell us about this new spiritual journey that you're on.
My journey started in December, or November-ish, December-ish. But it was just something that I was internally feeling. I just wasn't where I was at in my life. I was unhappy because I was just living in this fast life, this fast pace, getting fast money, and I just crashed, and it doesn't even matter what you have. Sometimes you could just be empty in the inside.
Yeah.
Talk about it now.
That's where I was. I had the diamonds, the bags, the cars, and I just still was just an empty soul, sitting there just confused on what I wanted to do with myself. And things just was shutting down. Opportunities were shutting down for me. Nothing was just aligning for me. Anytime I try to do something, it would just fail. So I'm like even down to my businesses, I was just like, why is this happening to me? So I think just God wanted my attention, and my calling isn't to be this sex symbol. That's Alexis Sky. I think because of what happened to me in my past, I think that God wants to use me as a light to other women that are going through, traumatic situations, and, whether it's an abusive relationship, whatever it is, I experienced it all. So I think he gave me that platform and grew it bigger to be a voice and to help others and to bring them closer to him. It doesn't mean you have to just become holy and overnight, but it's a transition, and you got to start somewhere. So I think if I'm gonna do it the right way, I can't be halfway in and because I tried this last year. I was trying to do my journey and I got scared. So that's why I have this saying called faith over fear, which is a scripture, but that's what I live by, because you have to have faith. I was living in fear for so many years. Like, well, how am I going to make money? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to live this lifestyle? How am I going to be able to go buy this new bag? And it's been hard. I'm not going to lie.
It's been different.
It's hard and different because I'm used to a certain lifestyle. And doesn't mean all of that has to change, because I can still live that life. I just want to do it the right way.
Pretending to find God and finding a church is usually the last stop for a bird. You got to understand something. A woman like this is trained to finesse. All she knows how to do is finesse. She's in the naked business. When a woman sexualizes herself for money, she's damn near selling her soul, because nothing about her is sacred, and she's thriving in the underworld. So women don't usually leave that life and all of a sudden find God. These women are so conniving that they are willing to use the church and God to get what they want. And as a bird gets older, especially a dancer, as she gets older, that's usually her go-to move. Matter of fact, there's a bunch of chicks out here who are also doing it.
I'm noticing a trend of influencers that were living a sinful lifestyle now turning to God and Christianity and finding a new faith in that and moving away from their old lives.
Because you got to understand, in these women's mind, it don't stop. Trying to find a sucker, it don't stop, because that's how they are trained. That's how they are functioned to think. So once they reach the point in their life where, oh, I'm trying to find a good man. If they have to go to a church and finesse their way into finding a good man, that's what they are going to do. And I'm pretty sure that's just chick motive. It don't stop.
Am I broke? Nope. I'm rich in the spirit, baby. I can never go broke. God won't allow me to go broke. Sorry. Broke is not in my vocab. I'm blessed. I am blessed. Blessed and favored. Highly favored. Nope, I don't have any other businesses but this. This is my baby. I got her and God, her and healing, say yes talk. Those are my 3 things. And then I have Girls in Charge, which I am partnered with my friend Brianna.
Okay, so what happened 4 months ago? It sounds like that was a pivotal point.
Yeah, like 4 months ago is when my journey started. So that was December.
Okay.
So I had just got surgery. I just did my body because I was like drinking a lot of liquor, and I was in Colombia when I was there, and I felt like I was going crazy. Like at this house, I was at a recovery house because my blood levels kept going up and down. So I knew that was God telling me not to get the surgery, but I was just being like hard-headed. But it was so many complications going on, and at that very moment, like I was feeling sick. I was going through the surgery, and he was just there. Like he came to me. And I think at that moment, because, when you go to surgery, you're going under anesthesia, you don't know if you're going to wake up, And I just kept praying and crying, like, God, please just, like, I know I'm not supposed to do it now, but please just wake me up. And so after the surgery, they were like, you can't go home, you can't go home, you can't go home. Every day I was there a day longer. I had to get antibiotic shots. I'm like, why did I do this? Like, and so at that point, God was just there with, it was just me and God. So he's like, was talking to me like, you're about to redirect your whole life. He was downloading everything that he wanted me to get rid of, even the people that I needed to get rid of. And it was like, it hurt because some of the people that I didn't want to get rid of, I had to, because they were leading me into destruction. Like, so, I came back from Colombia like a new person. Like people kind of didn't even recognize me, but it was just like that moment. So I had to like address it, because it's been like a year now. I kind of just been quiet about it.
Okay.
I think when I did start my spiritual journey, I was going through like an identity crisis, or like I really didn't know what was going on, and the person I was dealing with, just the people I had around me, kind of was in my ear. I'm not ashamed that I found God because I love God. I think that I had people around me just telling me that I had to be a certain way, and I was a little confused on what direction to take.
Okay.
And I think just being vulnerable, I kind of just was like, okay, let me just change. And I really wasn't ready to make to those decisions, because at the end of the day, this is how I started my life. This is how, I put food on my table for my kid. So to just make a drastic change and expect things to just, I know God, you gotta trust God's timing, but I'm a single mother. So at the end of the day, I still gotta make ends meet. I'm not saying I chose money over God, but I wasn't fully ready to do certain things, and God knows my heart.
And that's why it's impossible, bro. It's impossible to save a bird, because she's simply saying that she's choosing money over God because she got bills. And what that really means is the streets, the underworld is embedded in her. That's all she knows. She don't have a soul. So that's why some of y'all dudes will get with a chick like this and think y'all could change her. Why? Because y'all got money now. Why? Because y'all got clout. It's impossible to change a woman like this, man.
It was never fake. My encounter with God was real.
Yeah.
I was just really just in a space where I was dating somebody, and I'm not gonna say any names, and I'm thankful for this person, because it was never that I never believed in God. I just wasn't really close to him, and it was somebody that was in my life that had an influence. And, I was so focused on being a wife and being loved on and being wanted, that I was just like, okay, well, I have to change who I am in order for this person to accept me.
Yeah.
And I was more so focused on that versus my walk with God. I was doing it more for what that person wanted,
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I change my image on Instagram, or I change how I am, then I'll be his wife, or I'll do this. So it was more so like, okay, Alexis, are you ready for this? But I really wasn't ready,
Yeah.
And it's not saying that I wasn't ready to walk with God. It's just I wasn't doing it the right way. I was more so doing it for somebody else. And so it just happened overnight. So next thing you know, I'm on the internet telling the world, like, I'd stopped doing this, I stopped doing that, I stopped doing that. But this is who Alexis really was,
Yeah.
And I was changing myself for somebody else and not for
Wow.
me. And that
powerful.
person had a major impact, and I don't regret it, because that was what was supposed to happen. But just coming from, I used to dance.
Yeah.
I've been in trafficking, and just the lifestyle that I've came from, that's all I know. So
Yeah.
people can't fault me for being on the internet, showing this or doing this or having an OnlyFans or doing that, because that's all I was taught. I never went to college.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to have a degree.
If Jesus can't save these hoes, why are you trying? What make you think you greater than Jesus, nigga?
Fellas, and this is what I tell you all, bro. Women like this can't be saved. They are the most dangerous women out here. She just admit that she used God to try to finesse a man, to try to fool him. She cleaned up her image to come off like a good girl to him. But after a while, she got tired of faking. And that's probably after she got what she wanted from him. Because that's usually how it goes. After a woman gets what she wants from you, it's hard for her to keep pretending. That's when her true self comes out, because there's no need to keep pretending if I already got what I want. So after she's done using whoever that man is, it's like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I gotta get back to the streets. That's why, as men, we gotta be wise, bro. You can't save a woman like this, bro. No matter how hard you try. And that's why, as men, we shouldn't be weak to the flesh. Because women like this will only be able to impress weak men, weak, thirsty dudes who are chasing the flesh. But y'all gotta understand, when a woman is getting BBLs and she's a dancer and things like that, that's an abomination unto the Lord, bro. Fellas, be wise out here and don't become a victim to a woman like this. This right here is sad.
What is y'all relationship? What are you in the conversations like now? Now that
He's in my daughter's life. Like, of course, everybody knows he's not her biological father, but he.
If you haven't yet, go get you some of that merch. Y'all already know, don't feed the birds. That's what it is. We don't feed the birds over here. So if you rock with your boy, go get you some of that good merch.